Hello everybody, it's Julia here from the Highly Sensitive Tarot, and I'm back today with the third and final part of my Oracle deck collection, and I've got 12 decks to show you today, so I'll try not to make this video too long, but yeah, we've got 12 decks to look at today. So the first deck that I want to show you is my Tealeaf deck, and it's this enormous stack of cards here that you can see. They're split up into, I think, 3 sections. There's the red ones, which are the just the messages. Basket, recognition, reward for merit, caterpillar, things will not always be this way, a change is coming, victory in some endeavour, dark woman, dealings or a relationship with a woman with a dark complexion, wealth, man, yeah, so there's all just random sort of messages, and then we also have the months of the year. And we also, or the astral houses, and then we also have the months of the year as well. So, so yeah, we also have the houses here as well. We have career, success, love, happiness, marriage. I don't use this deck too often, but it is a really, really interesting little deck, I find. It came... Let me just get the box. I've got so many things on my table here. It came in this big box here. It's by US Games. Ray Hepburn, illustrated by Shauna Alexander. Tealeaf Fortune Cards. So Ray Hepburn, an accomplished tea leaf reader, teaches you to unlock the ancient secrets of reading tea leaves. Follow the simple guidelines and you can immediately read your fortune. So there's 200 cards here, 182 symbols, 12-month cards and 6 astral house cards. And this deck also came with like a sort of silky drawstring bag for mixing the cards. And as I said, it comes with this book, which is actually... pretty good, really. Got a little bit there on all of the different symbols, and there's actually quite a lot of information in here about how to read the cards. There's some sample readings. You can divine your fortune using the cards for the coming year, the coming week. You can do an astral house pyramid. I mean, they sort of recommend great big spreads like this for throughout the year, which I've never done, to be honest, but I have drawn the odd card from this deck on occasions, and it has been pretty good, actually. I usually draw one of these cards to kind of set the scene a bit for a tarot reading. So I've just pulled out here Cat, and this is a two-faced friend. So let's have a little look and see what it said about Cat here to give you an idea of the guidebook. So it says, a seemingly benign cat sits on the stone floor enjoying the late afternoon sun. An image of a snarling cat ready to pounce on its prey appears over the shoulder of the other cat, revealing its true nature. This card is a warning to be careful of the people you regard as friends. One of these people is two-faced and cannot be trusted. Yeah. So there you go. There's all sorts of messages within this deck, and I do really quite like them. As you can see, there's a lot. There's probably many more opportunities that I could use those cards that I don't. Now the next deck I've got here is let's have a look. Where's the little guidebook? It is the Bird Messages by Susie Green. I don't have the box for this. I cannot remember when I bought it, but it was quite a few years ago. Let's have a look at the copyright. I think I bought it new. So this is 2018. So yeah, I've maybe had this deck about 5 years. This is by mindfulnessetc.com. It's a beautiful book, actually. Beautiful cards. This is by Kiko Books. Kiko Books by RylandPeters.com. Anyway, this book has got some information about birds, how to connect to birds, connecting with the cards and the messengers, interpreting your messages, some spreads, and then I think there's pretty much we get 4 birds into a sort of double page spread here. But anyway, these are the cards. Aren't they beautiful? Macaw, think laterally to solve a problem. A resplendent, I can't pronounce that word. Uncover the deity within. Roman tufted goose. Take heed of those who give warnings. Red and yellow barbet. Harmony returns even after wrenching loss. Look at that, that's beautiful, isn't it? Avocet. Devotion overcomes setbacks. A dodo. Tread lightly on earth. A ruby-throated hummingbird. Take courage and the world will reward you. We've got a wood duck. Bird of paradise. Hotzin. A superb fairy wren. Infidelity is in the air. A green heron. An Iberian magpie. A blue-footed booby. A southern cassowary. Purple swamp hen. Carmine bee-eater. Emperor penguin. So as you can see, they are beautiful. Let's just pick one. I think that one, as that's upside down, I'll go for that. So ostrich. Magic remains even while you ground yourself and be practical. Let's have a look. Oh, and these are not in order. Great. So it says, once the ostrich flew, and then 65 million years ago, a vast body collided with the earth. Birds survived and colonized both earth and the sky, and the ostrich's wisdom was to choose the earth. If the ostrich has thundered into your journey, consider how grounded you are. Is your mind always drifting on impractical flights of fantasy? Does it whirl in panic? Is it time to be practical and face reality without fearing you may lose your dreams? Consider the ostrich who makes even the most mundane act of eating magical by swallowing Earth's glittering diamonds to break down the tough plant material that constitutes his diet, and whose frothy black and white plumes keep him in touch with dreams of the air. With the ostrich by your side, the practical can also be fabulous. So there we go. It's a really, really cute little deck. I don't use it very often, but it's beautiful nonetheless. The next deck I've got to show you, you may well have seen me use this deck if you've watched many of my readings in the past that I've done. I did used to get this deck out quite a lot just because it's so fun. This is a little rebel deck. There's a lot of swearing in this deck. There's a lot of very it's just a very opinionated deck, I guess, but I love it. So don't talk to anyone, don't look at anyone. You need some fucking time alone, and you know why. Do you see what I mean? I could do an awful lot of swearing with this deck. It's brilliant. You are going through some tough shit. Everyone has their turn. Welcome to yours. Gather your tired ass up and handle it. Stop talking. Shut your mouth and listen. Stop texting. Stop stalking. Stop checking on that person. Just fucking stop. Spend your time on someone worth it. Don't waste it on ridiculousness. This one's a good one. Don't believe every shitty thought you have. Thoughts can be sneaky, lying bastards. What the hell are you waiting for? Get that shit done. See, so many swear words. I don't want to swear endlessly throughout this video, so I'm not going to, but I really like this deck. Sometimes I think you just need a blunt answer to a question. Put the phone down. Too much screen time is making you awkward and sad. Go and talk to a live person. I just think sometimes we just need to hear things like that, and sometimes we just need a giggle. So yeah, I very much like my little rebel deck. This one is the Crystal Ball Pocket Oracle by the White Witch Oracle, and I think I bought this little deck maybe 2 years ago from Etsy, possibly. Again, I don't really use this deck very often. I have used it in some readings occasionally. It's basically a yes-no type of deck. So if you were to ask a very specific question, you would get a very specific answer here. Like reconsider, or you're going in the right direction. Yes. No need to worry. Go, the time is right. Let go. Unlikely. Not the right time. No. Get more information. Listen to your intuition and choose a new direction. So you can see there's only, I mean, there might only be 12 cards there. I'm not sure how many, but you can see these are only going to be useful if you were asking a very specific question, like should I do this, should I do that, should I go out with somebody or not, should I follow somebody's advice, I don't know, but just a very specific black and white question. It's a cute little deck though. The next deck that I've got here is the Island Time Wellness. This is a love oracle card, and I think I bought these off eBay around the time that I started my channel. I don't know, actually, I will admit this is probably the only deck I've got that I'm not entirely sure whether these are the actual cards from the creator or whether this is a knockoff deck. I don't think these cost me a lot of money on eBay, and as I said, this was when I just started my channel and I wasn't really properly aware of knockoff decks and China and, you know, such things. So yeah, I've used this deck a fair few times actually when asking about relationships, and it's pretty good. I really like this deck actually. So you can see here the dragonfly, be light-hearted, finding out, things coming to light, adapt, change and heal. Kisses, unconditionally loving, giving and receiving affection, falling in love. Camera, reminiscing, keepsake, perception, learn from the past, make memories. Passion, insane chemistry, like each other equally, having fun. They're all upside down now. Seduction, attraction, flirting, dating, hooking up, temptation, third party interference. A date, meeting someone new, dating, getting back out there, plan and set a date. Cupid's arrow, have faith, love is coming, surprise invitation or meeting. Healthy choices, making healthy choices in love and life, self-love, self-care, being happier. Coffin, endings bring new beginnings, growth, change, liberation and transition. So there we go. That's just a little sample of those cards. As I said, I really like those. What else have I got here? This deck here. This is my Chakra Insight Oracle deck, and again, I don't have the box for this. I feel I've had this deck quite a lot of years. 2020. Yeah, I feel like I've had it longer than that. But maybe it is only 3 years, I don't know. It's a fab deck. The book is really helpful as well. It tells you a lot about how to conduct a reading, types of spreads, a personal chakra journey, and then the card meanings. It also tells you quite a lot about what chakras actually are. But yeah, really like the backs of this deck. These are very big, stiff cards. Let's find a Rider-Waite-Smith card. So there we go. You can see they're huge. And they're really not particularly bendy. They're very stiff cards. So we've got, and what's good about these cards is the colour of the card reflects the chakra. So we've obviously got the root chakra here, grounding, nature, presence, practicality, stability, family. And then we've got visualization. This is probably your crown chakra, imagination, focus, experience, manifestation. And we've got your throat chakra, self-expression, vocalization, individuality, inner voice, assertiveness, communication, self-expression, exchange, sharing, connection, honesty, sexuality. That would be your not your root chakra, your I've forgotten what it is. That's terrible, isn't it? What have we got? We've got your heart chakra here, letting go, healing, growth, compassion. Desires. That's so annoying me. Do you know, my brain sometimes just will not let me remember certain words. So what chakra is this? This is your honestly, how annoying. Your sacral chakra. There you go. I knew what it was. Your sacral chakra. Your heart chakra again, passion. This would be your solar plexus chakra, the yellow, wouldn't it? Gut instincts, intuition, knowing, sensing, trust. So as you can see, they're actually really nice cards. I don't know whether they're still available on Amazon. I'm sure that they probably are. I really like those, and I do use those a fair bit actually, again, just to mainly to set the scene with a tarot reading. This deck is called the Art Oracles deck, and I do have the box for this, but it's in a box in the cupboard, and I'm afraid I just can't be bothered to climb up and get it. So this was bought as a gift for me, maybe like a year ago. It comes with this little sort of pamphlet type thing that comes with it. But to be honest, there's enough information here about each card. I'm quite interested in art, so I've quite enjoyed this really. And on each card we have a symbol to represent what this card means to your life, what this card represents with your work and with your inspiration. Some of the artists here are not people that I enjoy, such as Marina Abramovich, for instance. Some of them I like the art more than others. Some of them I don't recognise at all, to be honest. But as you can see, do you know, there's so many names here that I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce. Jackson Pollock, Turner, Van Gogh, Kandinsky. Do you know, my son was obsessed with Kandinsky when he was doing his art A-level at school. I kind of like geometry and I like shapes, but I never quite got Kandinsky. Frida Kahlo. I'm so sorry. I know who these people are. I just can't pronounce their name. William Morris, Francisco Goya, William Blake. Let's have a read about William Blake, actually. So we're here with life. Hell is hypocrisy on earth. Vision, his work is vision requires not sight but spirit, and his inspiration is madness in life and genius in death. Let's have a little read, see if I can find him. Again, these are not in any kind of order in the book, which is annoying. There we are. When young William Blake saw visions of angels and biblical figures, loved ones suggested that he unsee them. And he was alive in the United Kingdom from 1757 to 1827. But these visions were Blake's inspiration. Religious, historical and imaginary spirits posed for him, he said. Today this committed naturist would have had his own fashion line, but in his own time Blake was considered a nut job. Even as he led the romantics with his poetry, illustrations and engravings, commentary on the dichotomy of want versus action and knowledge versus ignorance. He was a religious man. Blake hated Bible-waving killjoy hypocrites and believed in human equality and sexual liberation. Keep fighting the good fight, the ghost of William Blake. So there we go. They're quite a cute little deck, actually. Quite nice. My friend did also buy me the Fashion Oracle that's from the same people as these. This same publisher, Lawrence King Publishing. Who are these by? It doesn't really say, does it? This is Katia Tealeaf and illustrated by Michael Sommer. And like I said, he did buy me the Fashion Oracles as well, but I couldn't get on with those. I'm not remotely interested in fashion. So it just didn't work. The next deck that I've got here, and I love this deck actually. These are my True Love reading cards. Again, quite big cards. These ones much bendier, much flimsier cards. This is the back of them. They're really, really bright and colourful. They come in this box here, which is quite nice. It's one of those ones with a sort of magnetic clasp on it. It's by Belinda Grace and illustrations by Laurie Banks. And this is Rockpool Publishing. These are true love reading cards, and they are beautiful. They come with a really, really nice book. They all just have one keyword on them, but they're all aspects of love and relationships, really. And the cards are just beautiful. The distorted masculine, creativity, spiritual maturity. They're quite intuitive, I think. You could intuit quite a lot from the images in these cards. Serendipity, luminosity, maturity. You could intuit quite a lot from these cards, but as I find with many, many oracle decks, I think that they you benefit a great deal from reading the guidebooks that comes with them. So let's have a look at this. What have we got? Connection. So where are we? These are actually in alphabetical order, and you get a whole picture and a whole page of writing. I won't read the whole lot, but I'll read some of it. For a relationship to thrive and for both parties to feel appreciated and understood, a deep sense of connectedness and non-judgmental communication is essential. The skills of conveying your feelings clearly and lovingly take a lifetime of practice and refinement, and sadly most of us are not taught the art of active listening in school, so we often regard listening as merely remaining silent until it's our turn to speak. You have drawn this card today because your heart yearns for a fulfilling connection with another human being and meaningful communication in which beautiful truths are revealed, honoured and shared. If you are manifesting a new relationship, be sure to spend some time considering how you will connect and communicate with the person coming into your life in this time. Be prepared to speak about yourself, your life, beliefs, dreams and feelings in meaningful depth. What do you believe in? What do you stand for? What are you passionate about? What are you prepared to reveal your truth to another? Your connection will deepen and become so much more fulfilling. So there we go. As you can see, we could interpret and intuit quite a lot from this card, couldn't we, of connection. We can see that this is an early connection between two people, the romance there. So, said beautiful cards. I really, really do like those. Now, the next three decks are all astrology based. Or the next two decks, sorry. I've got 4 more decks to show you. So this deck here is called Astrology Reading Cards, Your Personal Guidance from the Stars. These are by Alison Chester Lambert, illustrations by Richard Crooks. This is again a rock pool. Pretty sure this is rock pool again. No, this is Findhorn Press. It's the same box. I just assumed it would be the same thing. This is the inside of the box. It's another little magnetic clasp, and you get this lovely book with it, which is why I thought it was probably another rock pool one. But anyway, this is all astrology, and I think within this deck we have, what do we have? We have, we have the planet cards, the zodiac cards and the house cards. We've got notes on how to read them, how do they work, and on the origins of the cards. So we've got quite a lot of information on each card here. So Virgo, the energy around you is dutiful, hesitant and humble, with a discriminating, diligent and painstaking air. Well, of course, that's me, being Virgo, sun and moon. Hesitant and humble. 12th house. This is the area of your life that is overwhelming. You yield to a greater cause or power. Aries. The energy around you is dynamic and spontaneous. Crusading, impulsive action is likely. Cancer. The 9th house. The 10th house. Pluto. The moon. I think I'll do the same. I shall pick a card. I have that one. And I'll read from the book. So, we have the moon. Your unconscious, sensitive, inner emotions and responses. So again, you get a full page and then a full page of writing. So if you've drawn this card, then the current energy is focused on the part of you that is represented by the moon. And it is this part of your personality which is engaged in the question or the issue. As we sleep, our unconscious processes the happenings of the day. Experiences and reactions are considered and committed to memory. This process is part of our inner selves, and it is this inner self that is affected by the matter in hand. Something is touching you deeply, and you need to at least sleep on it, taking careful note of your dreams and feelings as you wake. The moon describes what we really like on the inside, our instinctive hidden self. The real moon in the sky can only reflect the sun's light. Excuse me. And in this way, you should reflect on issues, just as we cannot expose ourselves to the heat of solar energy for long periods and need time in the shade. So too do we need space and time to make sense of our daily experiences and busy lives. If the question you asked of the cards concerns someone else, then it is their moon or unconscious that is ruling their actions. So there we go. I don't use this deck too often, but it is a really nice deck. I really do like it. I'm sure it will come in handy for various things over time. The other astrology type deck I've got is the Moonology deck, and again, I have got the box for this somewhere. This was a gift. This was bought for me maybe a year ago. Again, I don't use it too often, but I do like it very much. I have got the box somewhere, but I think it's in a cupboard. So I'm sure many of you are familiar with this deck. I've seen this deck on YouTube a lot. So in this little guidebook, it talks about the wisdom of the moon, the cycles of the moon, what the cards are for, working with the cards. And then we've got all the moon phases. They give you kind of an affirmation to attune to the moon. There's additional meanings for the cards, teachings for the cards. Waxing crescent moon, have faith in your dreams. Disseminating moon, take time to breathe out. Full moon, surrender to the divine. New moon in Aries, it's time to take action. First quarter moon, your commitment is being tested. Full moon in Virgo, you are good enough. Full moon in Aries, a fiery climax approaches. Let's read the Virgo one, hey? If I can find it. You are good enough. So it's this one here. It's time to be really honest with yourself and understand what led you to ask the question. Have you been humble to the point of being self-effacing? Humility is good, but it can go too far. And drawing this card suggests you may be underrating yourself. You don't have to be flash, just quietly certain that you are good enough. At the other end of the scale, you also need to honestly answer the question, have you been too picky? Virgo, picky? No. The full moon in Virgo card needs some truthful answers. Once you've given them, it should be easier to see how you got where you are. Attune to the moon. Find a balance between the cosmic and mundane in your daily life. Additional meanings for the cards would be: worrying too much will attract more things to worry about. Have you been overly critical? An apology may be in order. Stop second guessing yourself. Raise your karma by doing something good for somebody else. So there we go. Really nice cards. You know, these are definitely helpful. Again, for kind of setting the scene in tarot readings, or just as a card a day to draw. I really like those. So the next decks that I've got here are two Lenormand decks, and I've included them with my Oracle decks because I didn't really, they're not tarot cards, are they? They are more Oracle cards, I suppose. They were both bought for me as gifts, and I have tried to work with them. I have tried to learn the meanings of these cards. I really like them, particularly this little Fairytale Lenormand in the tin. I'm quite a fan of little decks in the tin. It comes with an incredibly cute little book. This is by Arwin Lynch and Lisa Hunt, and it's by US Games. And you know, I'm sure many of you, in fact probably all of you, know what a Lenormand deck looks like. These are fairy tale based. From what I've learned so far about Lenormand, each of these cards has a very specific interpretation, and I guess I've grown up and I've spent 30 odd years using tarot, which, while it has more fixed sort of interpretations, you know, especially if you're using traditional decks like Rider-Waite-Smith decks, there are interpretations of those cards, but they are also incredibly intuitive, and I think you're encouraged with tarot to use your intuition to add depth and layers to your readings. But I feel that with Lenormand cards, your intuition is not so important, and that these cards may help you to work out more sort of day-to-day queries and day-to-day issues, I suppose. I am interested, to be honest, to learn more about Lenormand, but I don't know, I'm so enjoying my tarot cards a lot of the time that I just think I've not really made the time for these to really sort of give them a good go. This beautiful deck is by M. Katz and T. Goodwin, and the artwork by David Corsi, I think that is. And their Lo Scarabo deck, 36 cards obviously. Comes with this really nice little guidebook. There's quite a lot of information about each card here, plus a quick little reference. The back of the cards is beautiful on this deck, isn't it? And again, these are although the images are slightly different, these are very similar, aren't they, to this little fairy tale deck here. They also have the playing card association on there. They are beautiful. I really am enjoying looking at these. But as I said, I haven't not really got to grips with them yet at all. the whole system of Lenormand. I know some people have done some sort of tutorial videos on how to learn to read Lenormand, how to do a spread, how to do a grand tableau, I suppose it is, isn't it? But I haven't really got round to looking at any of that. I think, you know, it's very hard to read these cards just in isolation, isn't it? They need to be read as a sort of group in 3s or 9s. You know, we've got here a simple 9 card Lenormand spread. And I think it's how they are placed in that spread and how each card relates to each other that is important, isn't it? And I just haven't sort of got my head around that really as yet, but I expect that I will one day. It's the sort of thing that one day I'll pick up and I'll just decide the time is now. So anyway, I think that is all of my oracle decks. That's 12 decks I've shown you today, and I think that is my entire oracle deck collection. I've got 30 decks. A bit later in the year, maybe towards the end of the summer, autumn time, I'm going to start showing my tarot deck collection, which currently I have maybe 50 decks, I think. Maybe not even quite that many, but probably around about that amount of decks. So yeah, I shall probably begin that at sort of the end of the summer, early autumn time, which will be really nice. I'm sort of partly cataloguing my decks for my own benefit, but I thought it would be nice to show everybody my decks as well. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please do say hello. I'd love to hear from any of you if you have similar decks or you have any thoughts about these, or you just want to say hello. That'd be fab. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again soon.